Welcome back to Heathrow Virtual ATC X Learn to Fly training program. In this short video we are going to go over on how to maintain straight and level flights. We're going to also go over the trim indicator and the heading indicator and demonstrate a few turns for you. So first off, let me disable the autopilot, which is located down here. As you can see now, not flying without any autopilot, it's just me and the joystick and the experience that you will learn throughout your training. So, as you can see at the moment, we are in straight and level flights. I know this because the virtual speed indicator is not moving with a considerable amount of rate. And also my altitude is staying constantly at 3,000 feet. And also I know that I'm in straight flight because the aircraft is not turning. It will not turn unless input has been selected by myself. So, to demonstrate the best way to stay straight and level is, obviously, we don't start off in straight and level. Doesn't work like that. So, if I'm going to just do a short little climb here to roughly 3,200 feet, and then I'll level off just to demonstrate. Now, it's always a good idea to use your trim to help you with the climb or descend, and especially when leveling out. It's a stabilizer factor in any aircraft, even if you're using the ultralight to a Boeing 747. So I'm coming up to 3,200 feet now. So I'm going to level out the aircraft and maintain 100 knots. By doing this, I will be using the trim and not pulling back or pushing forwards on my joystick or flight yoke. This is a common mistake with new pilots. They seem to like to push and pull on their sticks quite a bit. The trim will actually help you achieve the goal that you are looking for, depending on what you are doing. Obviously some input from the controls is required. Okay, as you can see, I'm level now at 3,200 feet, and the virtual speed indicator is not moving so much. So this is roughly straight and level flight now. The more practice you have, the better you'll be at it. From my experience though, no one can beat the autopilot doing it. It's a very sophisticated instrument, and 9 times out of 10 it doesn't fail. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and put on the autopilot, and I'm going to go over the heading indicator and the turns with you. So there we go. I've just turned on the autopilot. So the autopilot is now in control, and the aircraft's going to make a short descent back down to 3,000 feet, as I have inputted 3,000 feet for the altitude in the autopilot section here. So let's go over the heading indicator, which is located here. Now, as you can see, the heading indicator has a lots of numbers and lines attached to it. Try not to get yourself too confused with all the lines and dots and so forth here. They are just references to help you know which way you are going and which heading you are currently at to. So I'm just turning the aircraft now to west to start off the demonstration of the turns, as it will be easiest to do that from this particular heading. West is on a heading of 270 degrees, and north is 360 or 000, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Either way is correct. So if you're ever in free flight or flying in someone's season, if they ask you to go to a heading of 360, you know it's north. If they ask you to go to 000, then it's still north. So, level now at 3,000 feet, and just going to increase the airspeed a bit to maintain 100 knots, and we are on a heading of 270 degrees. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to demonstrate a 10, 20 and a 30 degree bank turn. Now, to achieve this, you need to know what is a 10, 20 and a 30 degree bank turn. So simply, a 10 degree bank turn, the line is located in the horizontal indicator, which is where the mouse is being pointed at the moment. This is a 10 degrees, 20 degrees and 30 degrees. Depending on what you're doing in the aircraft, depending on the conditions for weather depends on what headings and turn rates you use. So first off, we are going to turn to a heading of 180. Now, most people, they would know where 180 is, but as you're just a beginner, we are going to go ahead and move the heading bug, which is located here, to a heading of 180 degrees, and we will level out at a heading of 180 degrees. So, all you need to do to turn the aircraft is to select your heading, know if you're going left or right. So in this case, we'll be going to a heading of 180 to the left with a 10-degree bank turn. So we're going to move the joystick to the left until the little orange arrow here is underneath the first white line. Okay, there you go. I am now in a 10-degree bank turn on my way to a heading of 180 degrees. Now the best thing to do when you are coming out of your turn, rolling out of your turn, is to roll out rather 10, 20 or 30 degrees before the heading. Depending on your bank will depend on when you start to roll out. In this case, it will be a 10 degrees rolling out angle. So I'm just going to roll out now, nice and smoothly, so not to knock our passengers' heads. They get a little bit annoyed when we give them a bit of brain damage. Okay, as you can see now, I'm level on a heading of 180 degrees. So as you can see, very easy. When it comes to doing a 20-degree bank turn, your bank rate turns a little bit quicker, so you need to prep a little longer. So we're going to go to a heading of 030 degrees now, which is roughly north, but not just exact. I'm going to move the heading bug to the heading of 030, just as your trainer will do when it comes to your lessons, or when it comes to you doing your license for the student pilot. So I'm going to go ahead now and make a right turn to a heading of 030 using a 20-degree bank turn. Watch the difference between the 10 and the 20. Okay, as you can see now, I am at a 20 degrees of bank on my way to a heading of 030. As you can see, the turn rate is much quicker than the 10 degrees, which means you get to your headings quicker, and the 20-degree bank turn is the standard rate of turn in any aircraft, especially the Cessna 172. Okay, because we're doing a 20-degree bank turn, I'm going to roll out 20 degrees before we get to the heading, so I have a nice smooth rollout. So here we go. Okay, as you can see, just rolling out now on the heading of 030. When rolling out, it's okay if you make a short mistake and just overshoot your particular heading, as long as it's not too much, otherwise ATC gets a bit annoyed, and when it comes to doing your lessons, your trainer will pick up on it. So as you can see, I've just demonstrated a 20-degree bank turn, so all what's left to do now is to demonstrate to you a 30-degree bank turn. So for this, I'm just going to go right around from left hand side, so I'm going to do left to a heading of 030, which is exactly what we're at now. Watch how the difference of turn rate is from the 10 and the 20 in comparison with the 30-degree bank turn. Okay, as you can see, our bank angle is increased considerably because we are now at a 30-degree bank angle. As you can see, the heading indicator is moving much quicker than the 10 and the 20-degree bank angles. When you're doing any sort of turn, it is always a good idea to keep twinking your trim to check to make sure that you maintain a constant altitude within the parameters of the lessons and the tests. Okay, going to start to roll out here now, so we don't knock everyone's heads really quickly. Okay, there we have it. Just rolled out from a 30-degree bank turn on a heading of 030. So I hope you have learnt a few things from this short video. If you have any questions on the videos, please contact us or contact your trainer. I hope you're doing well in your lessons, and we'll see you for the next video for the climbs and descents. Thank you very much.